Hi guys, and welcome to my continuation of tutorials in software installation. We are going more into operating system platforms, and what we're going to do is I'll be demonstrating to you how to configure Active Directory, how to create a domain controller, set up roaming profiles and home folders, as well as how to join to a network and create a workstation accounts for other Windows operating systems such as Windows 7, XP and Vista. Now before we begin, what we're going to do is just make sure that we set up the settings for the server correctly. In my previous video I showed you how to install the VM and how to also install operating systems on the VM. So we're going to be using the VM, the Oracle Virtual Manager, to actually do these connections. So we go to the network tab, and what we're going to change here is the network adapter, right? Changing it from NAT to host only adapter, VirtualBox host only Ethernet adapter, and then we go on to the advanced setting here and change this to allow all. Right? We need to do this for all the systems in the VirtualBox, so in that way they will be able to connect to each other via the network adapters. Okay, so we just make sure that Vista also has the same network settings. Alright, change this, host only adapter, allow all. Good. Now the same thing has to be done for Vista 7 and XP, and you can do that on your own time. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go straight to the operating system of the server, and I already have this open. We have here the initial configuration task that comes up as soon as server is opened for the first time. So in order for you to start actually creating domain controllers and Active Directory, we need to actually go and change the roles, add roles. At present you can see there are no roles attached to the system. So click add roles. What I'm going to do is set up the Active Directory domain services. Alright, click here, and we just add the required features which it says it needs, and we click next, and next again, and then we click install. So what it's going to do now in the time is going to start installing the Active Directory systems onto the actual server. So while this is doing, what we're going to do, we're going to go across to Vista. So you go to Start, Network, right click, go to Properties, and we go where Network and Sharing Center is up. Alright, so we need to make sure that network discovery is on, file sharing, public sharing, and just for this tutorial we will turn off password protection sharing. Now we go across to the Windows server, and after it has started the installation and installed the Active Directory services, we need to go to select this. It's very important to select this before you close the actual application. But if it is that you do close the operation, all you need to do is just go to the run screen and type in DC promo, and this will come up. Alright, let's click next. Alright, I like to make sure and see what is actually being said. Okay, yes, click next. And here now what we're going to be doing is creating a new domain in a new forest. Alright, we don't have a forest created before, so we're going to actually create a new forest now. And we type in the root for the forest. Basically anything you want. What is your name of your domain is going to be. right, and make sure that you put the .com in it. Next, and now it's going to just check to make sure that the name is unique. And while it's doing that, we're going to continue with the Vista machine. So as I said before, just make sure that we turn on this network discovery, very important, and then we go on here now to manage network connections. Make sure I go down to properties, and what we're going to do here is actually set up the IP address for this machine. Alright, so once it comes up here, we're going to actually create an IP address using 192.168 and 0.2, right, for the actual IP address for this Vista machine. Alright, so we go to Internet Protocols version 4, what we're going to use, and use the following IP addresses. So 192.168.0.2. Right, and that will be the actual IP address for the Vista machine. Use the subnet mask as before, and then now we're going to go across back to the server machine and use the server machine, and we'll leave these two blank, the default gateway and the DNS for now, because that's going to be done after we configure on the server machine. So you go back to the server machine here, and very important, need to make sure that we select the correct forest functional level, right, because if it is as you read here, you will be able to add any domain controllers that are running Windows R8, R2 or later to this forest. Now if it is you didn't connect this properly, then obviously you wouldn't have been able to do that. Next, yes, leave as is, next, and type in a password. What I'm going to do is just basically type in the same password that I did to actually enter the machine. So you're just going to wait while it configures the Active Directory services. So it has completed the installation of the Active Directory, so we'll just click finish, and now it indicates that you have to restart the system. So the server has rebooted. Let's Control or delete. So now we see that we have the Rockland administrator coming up. Right, this is for the domain. So now we go. So this is the first time that the machine is actually setting up using this user. So what we're going to do is I just want to show you, as soon as the initial setup tab opens, this menu opens here. So as we see here, we have the initial configuration task coming up. We have add roles, and now we have the DNS server and Active Directory services, or actually Directory Domain services coming up. So it shows that the installation was completed and was correct. So we're going to go Start, Network, right click, Properties, and what we're going to do is the same that we did on the actual on the Vista machine. We're going to do on this machine here. Right, we're going to go to Advanced Sharing. Change the advanced sharing users. We need to make sure that the network discovery is turned on. Right, file and print sharing is turned on. Now we're going to go to the adapter settings, and we change the adapter settings back into properties, and now we're going to configure the IP address for the version 4 using the actual IP addresses. So the IP address 192.168.0.1, right, and the same subnet mask. We'll leave it default gateway. And now what we're going to do is this is the IP address for the actual server machine. We're going to transpose it across here for the default gateway. So this is going to be the default gateway. The same address that we have for the server machine is going to be the default gateway and the preferred DNS also. Okay, click OK, close. Save here. So what we're going to do, or what we have to do now, is to make sure that both systems are actually seeing each other. Alright, so the way we're going to do this is by going to start, and run. Alright, and we're going to run the command prompt cmd, and we're going to ping the machine. Ping space 192.168.0.1. Right, so you're going to ping the server machine from the Vista machine, and as you see there, we have reply. We have sent for, received for, indicating that we are getting replies and we are actually connecting to the server machine. And just to make sure that it's not a fluke, we're going to also do the same. Ping space 192.168.0.2. Alright, so we ping this machine, and it's now going to be sent back basically a reply from all pinging. So now we can actually see that both systems are seeing each other. So the Vista machine is being seen on the server, and vice versa, the server machine is being seen by the Vista machine. Okay, so at least we have that step done, and we actually have the systems connected. Now what we're going to do now is go into setting up a domain and putting the Vista machine on the domain. It's take down this. Now what we're going to do is to check the Windows machine, the Vista machine first. Right, we're going to go into computer, right click, go to properties, and what we're going to see here is the computer itself is actually on a work group. Right, so we're going to change that because we want to actually put it on the domain. Alright, so we will change domain. So what we have to do is type in the name of the domain, Rockland, and click OK. Now there's use the administrative password. So the name of the domain is the Rockland domain, and we are now going to set up this Vista machine on the Rockland domain. So, and there we go, it has welcomed us to the Rockland domain. Click OK, and now it's going to ask you to restart the machine to apply the changes. OK, and we let the machine restart. Close, restart now. Right, so what we're going to see, the machine is going to shut down, and what we're going to see when it reboots is a choice between the domain and the actual PC itself. This machine has restarted, and we have the Rocky PC Rocky. Now this is not the domain, this is the actual PC itself and the user Rocky on this on this PC. So what we're going to do is switch the user, go to other user, and now they're going to be asking you to log on to the Rockland domain, right? But before we could actually do this, what we need to do is go and create a user on the server itself. So we need to go to Start, Administrative Tools, go to the Server Manager, right, and there we're going to go into the Active Directory and actually create a user. Right, so we have the roles, Active Directory domains, we go to Active Directory users and computers, right, and now it is going to bring up the Rockland domain. You double click there and we go into users, and we have all the users of that domain here. So we're going to create a, we're going to go, let's right click out in the open and go to new user, and there we're going to create a new user. We're going to create a Vista user or Windows Vista, so we know which machine. Windows Vista. Right. Alright, so we have the Windows Vista machine, and here we can actually create a password. And indicate that the password never expires. Okay, click next, finish. And now we have a Windows Vista user on the server, in the server itself, on the server domain, on the domain. So when we go here to Windows Vista, type in the password, and now we have the user, the Windows Vista user system actually being booted. So to ensure that this user was actually done, or that's basically to show you that the new user is on the domain, we go to Start, go to My Computer, Properties, and there we see that the user is now the Rocky PC on the .rockland or the Rockland domain. Right. So now we know that the system actually is on the domain. As you can see here, the system is on the domain, and we have the user on the domain, or the new user in the server managers section. So I'd like to thank you for looking at this video. I hope that you come on soon and look at the next video, where we will be going on to connect the XP, or which is a legacy device, on server 2008. Thanks for